Hello again, YouTube. Tristan Blaze. Back again with story time. Traps popping up. Quick thing. Somebody asked me they wanted another story time. I told them I was going to do a Thailand part 2. I don't want to do that one right now. Real quick, just quick background to that story. It's about child prostitution, and me and 5 other Marines beating the shit out of a bunch of old men. And then leaving them bleeding and just, fucked up in back alleys and, Pattaya Beach in Thailand. I don't know if that's going to really get me in fucking trouble to tell the whole story. I mean, technically I just kind of admitted to a crime. And if you want to be really, really, really technical about it, I still got the scars here and here from where teeth ended up getting lodged into my fucking hand from those, or maybe they're dentures or something, I don't know. So, I don't know, maybe I'll tell that story sometime in the future, maybe not, I don't know. But, here's a story about why I love math and how math got me into a shitload of trouble. So, ladies and gentlemen in ladies' attire, for those subscribers who know I'm talking about, why do I love math? One of the things about math is you can find a lot of shit out. You can do a lot of shit. You can basically cheat people if you're really good at math. And one of the things about me was I always loved math. I always loved like logic puzzles, like Rubik's Cubes. I would spend hours as a kid. I had no clue how to solve a Rubik's Cube, but I would spend hours just doing all that stuff because I loved it. It was a puzzle. I loved that shit. Okay, I loved it. It was awesome. Now, well, not now, but years and years ago, like 20-something, early 20-something, a friend of mine taught me this Rubik's Cube move where you could solve a Rubik's Cube in any combination that the cube was in, and there's like billions of them, I think. You can solve it in 20 moves or less, but the most you should do is 20. And it's just a simple mathematical equation. It's like top go left 2, bottom go right 3, or go right 2, or go this, and there you go. And it's just a 20 move combination and solves anything. You can blindfold yourself and do it, whatever. So I've always loved math. Another thing is it always got me in trouble because I would find patterns in certain things, like patterns on a test. For example, 5th grade English class. I found a pattern in November, beginning of the year, early in the year. Every 14th question on the test, no matter what it was, every 14th question on that Scantron was always letter D. And I looked at the Scantron, I noticed the pattern, and I was like, bullshit. That can't be. That can't be. So I was like, okay, next test I'm gonna, do it. So next test comes around, I think that was a few weeks before Christmas break, or no, it was a few days before Christmas break. So I'm not going to get the results back until after vacation. So I do the test, and the first thing I do is I just open the test, flip to the back, question 79, that's the highest number, do the maths. Okay, we're going 14, 28, 42, 56, 70. 5 questions, all letter D. Get the Scantron, mark it down, then do the rest of the test. Come back from Christmas break, check the test, they're all right. At least the ones, that, were 14 and 28 and, every other, every 14th answer. So I kept doing this every test, and I kept getting them all right. Fuck yeah. So I found a system that made me not have to know as much in English. Which is probably why I'm bad at English by now. I'm not. I have no concept of like, you know, why there's a semicolon versus a colon, or when to put a comma in here, or you know, I don't know that shit. I don't. But I can teach myself how to do binomials, trinomials, and polynomials in a day. But you give me a sentence and you say, put a comma here, I have no clue where to put that fucking comma. So, for example, the sentence, I helped my Uncle Jack, comma, off a horse. Or I helped my uncle, comma, Jack off a horse. I don't know where to put that comma. Okay? So if you just gave me a sentence like that, I would have no clue where to put that fucking comma. Now I use that because that's a really funny fucking sentence, obviously, and it can be taken either way depending on where that comma goes. So that's why I hate fucking English. Because I can make some really fucked up sentences, obviously. So anyways, near the end of the school year, a couple weeks before final exam, last test before finals, the teacher sees me. All I do is I grab the Scantron, I pop the little fucking tape thingy, flip to the last page, question number is 88, so I do the math in my head again, 14, 28, 42, and I just grab the Scantron, and the teacher walks up and she says, what are you doing? I'm just writing my answers down. Are you going to read the questions? No. She's like, you need to take this test seriously. I go, I am. I'm taking every other question seriously but these. Why? And I was like, you don't want me to tell you. We're in the middle of class and everybody's around us, so if I tell people, they're going to do the same shit. You know, it's like, you know, if I say every other answer is A, every single student is going to then be like, okay, A. I'm going to give everybody else the answers. The teacher's like, no, really, why? And so I tell her every 14th answer is A. Or sorry, every 14th answer is D. And she goes, no, it's not. I go, yeah, it is. And so the first thing, she grabs the test, she goes to 14, reads it, and then she flips a page. She's like, okay, that was lucky. 28. Okay, no. 42. 56. And she reads every single question. And it's all D. They're all D. They're all the same fucking letter. I recognize the pattern, and it's not cheating. So then the teacher goes, and the teacher's like, stay here. Everybody stay here. And the teacher's aide was there, and the teacher's aide's now, you know, checking everything out. So the teacher goes, and she pulls every Scantron test that I did. And this was during lunch. She was going over every... Now, I didn't get to go to lunch. I got stuck in class, and I had to retake the test. I had to retake the same test. So once again, every 14th answer I wrote D, because I knew that was a fucking answer. And she's going through every single Scantron I did. And she goes, here's 2 Scantrons where you didn't mark that down. And I said, yeah, these were the 2 Scantrons that I did before I discovered the pattern. This was a Scantron I discovered the pattern on in November. This was the first one I did it on to prove the validity of it. Now, I wasn't using these words, obviously. I'm in the 5th fucking grade. I don't know those words. But I showed her, this is where I figured it out. And every other test past that, I've done it, and I've never gotten any of those questions wrong. So you skip forward, so that was 5th grade, skip forward 10th grade, 5 years. Alright, so, you know, 15, 16-ish. I'm in middle school, or not middle school, fuck, that would be a fucked up thing. Being in middle school at 15, 16, shit. Talk about barely legal. So anyways, now I'm in high school. I'm in 10th grade. I'm in math class. So the teacher's going over guessing and the percentage of getting, you know, a guess right. Like you flip a coin, it's a 50% chance. And if you had X amount of numbers, and he had a deck, it was from 0 to 100, and you had to guess whether the number was below or above 50, you would have a 50% chance of doing it. So he goes, for the rest of the class, we're going to have a game. So he takes the number 50 out, puts it aside. He goes, there's 50 cards now in this deck. Half are below 50, half are above 50. We're going to go through every card and we're going to guess it. He had a little card shuffler, so he shuffled all the cards, they were nice and mixed up. And really quickly I noticed that there was a way to get around it. Simple addition. -1, +1. If a number's below 50, you subtract 1. If a number's above 50, you add 1. You start at 0. And every number that's flipped, you just add or subtract. So the higher the number is on your number line, the more, well, obviously the more positive it is on your number line, the better the odds are of it being under 50. The lower it is, the more negative it is on your number line, the better odds are it's going to be above 50. So we go through this, and you're supposed to, be around 50%. You should be, your number should be around 50. I had 79 out of that 100 correct. The next highest score was 57. And so the teacher was pissed because I literally just demolished it. I was like, fuck this. Like, fuck this shit. Fuck you. Fuck your test. Just flip the damn tables. I'm the fuck out of here, motherfucker. I'm better than all of y'all bitches. And the teacher literally just looked at he would write a hash mark by everybody's name. There was like 12 kids in the class. And he just like looked at my fucking name, and there it is, just 79 fucking hash marks, and then the next person's like 52, and he's just like, and it was like everybody was like really, really like centered and like clustered around like 46 to like 52 area. That was like everybody was like really averaged into there, and here I am at like 79, just like way the fuck out near Pluto, just partying down. Fuck you. And the teacher's like, how the fuck did you get a 79? Like, the odds of you getting that many right are really fucking rare. And so I explained the process. I explained, here's how I did it. And the teacher goes, that's not how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to guess. What the fuck's the point? If I know the answer is going to be more likely under this number, wouldn't it be better to guess that one? I'm in math class, I'm using a mathematical equation. It's a very simple equation. It's a high-low system, basically. Which is where we get into the next part of the story. When I went to Japan in the Marines. Because I like blackjack. Which is probably why I love playing combo decks in Magic the Gathering. There's a lot of probability, there's statistics, there's mathematics involved. Yeah, whatever. So, anyways, teacher's pissed. I'm the guy that learns by doing shit, by reading shit. Not by having someone sit there and give me a lecture. I really don't read, I really don't learn lectures. I don't learn lectures, depending on, like, videos, maybe not. It's gotta be really fucking interesting if it's like a video in a class for me to learn that shit. And my hands are dry, so I'm going to lube myself up. So, skip forward a few years. So now I'm in the Marines. I go through basic, go through all that stuff, go through, whatever. I get to my duty station, I'm in Japan. Now, I'm in Okinawa, but they do have casinos in Okinawa. They have casinos in mainland Japan, and sometimes we go to mainland Japan, so sometimes we go to a casino. And I'm good with math. Now, anybody who's seen Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man, the part where he's there at the blackjack table, the box where all the cards are, it's a shoe. That's where they keep all the decks. Okay, and there's like 2 deck shoes, 4 deck, 5 deck, 3 deck, 6 deck. It doesn't matter how many decks are in that shoe. You can count it in your head. Okay, the movie took licensing in terms of explaining how good of a savant he was by saying no one can count that. Like, no human being can count that shit. Bullshit. I can teach you how to count that shit. And I'm about to. And I'm also about to tell you why I cannot go back to Japan. Well, I can go back to Japan, but why I can't go into a casino and gamble in Japan if they still have my face. Blackjack is a relatively simple game. There's what's called a stiff hand for the dealer. It's 12 to 16. If they have 12 to 16, they have to take a hit. So how can you even the odds in your favor? Remember, you're going to a casino. The odds are never in your favor. Okay? Remember, Mockingjay. Okay? Or not Mockingjay. Remember Catching Fire, the movie. They're going through the train. They're going through the tunnel. Okay? And they see the little symbol. And what does it say? Spray painted, tagged onto the side of the tunnel. The odds are never in our favor. That's what it's like going to a casino. They're never in your fucking favor. And regardless of what anybody says, card counting, if you're in America, in Las Vegas, if you do it in your head, it's not illegal. If you do it in Atlantic City, in New Jersey, it's not illegal because they have to prove you're cheating. Now, if you have a machine doing it for you, one, you suck at math. And you need to find a better way to grift people out of money then. Two, they have countermeasures in play to fuck with your shit. So learn math, do it in your fucking head. So, stiff hand of 12 to 16 is really where you want your dealer to get to. Okay, you want your dealer to have that. They have to fucking hit. Here's what you do. Number line. 7, 8, 9. Those three cards. You add 0. You subtract 0. Okay? 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? You will subtract. I always subtracted 1. Some players add 1. I would subtract 1. Okay? 10 to ace. You add 1. Or at least I would add 1. Okay? Now, the higher the number, the lower the chances of a dealer getting a high card. Okay? The lower or more negative the number, the greater the odds of the dealer getting something that will make him bust. Now, this also works when you want to double down, when you want to split, things like that. So you could like really just, oh, I'm going to split. Because the number's so fucking high, the odds of you getting like 10 jack are higher. So, hey, I just did a double. I had 2 aces and I doubled down. Guess what? Ace 9. Or not ace 9, like 10, 9. Okay, there's a blackjack and here's a 20. You fucking just give me all your fucking money. It's like fucking, I'm trying to remember. It's like that line from Futurama's, the 4th movie, Into the Wild Green Yonder, where Bender's playing like the fucking Mars Championship poker. And he's like, luck shooting out of my ass like luck diarrhea. So he's just like, all these fucking ships just bringing him over like, yeah. So that's what I would just do. I would just sit there and I would just be like this. Just playing with a little chip, And in my head, I'm just doing the calculations, 1. Plus 1, okay, 10, 11. Okay, now I gotta subtract, okay, 10, 9, 11. I do the math and it's real quick, okay. And then I would bet. And I would sit there and, because we'd go to the casinos as like a group of Marines. And so I'm sitting like my staff sergeant's there with me, my gunnery sergeant's there with me. And they're just, I have like a stack of fucking chips now, like a stack of fucking chips that I've just won. And they're just like, what the fuck, how the fuck is this guy just winning? So, I'm just sitting there, I'm just counting cards. I'm sitting there, boom, counting cards. Double down, split. I'm not going to bet this hand. It's like randomly doing shit, and people thought I was a complete jackass. Now, 10 minutes into a winning streak, basically, and by winning streak, I mean I would bet big and win, or I would bet very, very low and lose. That was the whole point. It's like stock market, buy low, sell high, bet low, lose low, bet high when you have a very, very high statistical chance of winning, and then win a shit ton of money back. There's a couple of Japanese guys show up, suit, tie, earpiece and everything, probably Yakuza or paid for by the Yakuza, and so they, can I see your ID? Show my military ID. So they say your last name, like, Oh, okay, sorry about that. The video, my video records in 20-minute intervals on my camera. I gotta get a new camera. Sorry about that. So we were at Smith Son. They would say, you know, your last name, Son, Mr. Smith. They would say, you know, Mr. So-and-so. Come with us, please. There's, you know, a couple security guards like, what do you want? Come with us, please. I'm leaving, and I'm grabbing. They're like, no, leave your chips. We'll have someone come and take them. They bring me to the cage. They cash me out, and they bring me to the fucking door. You know, welcome. No, come back. No, come back. You come back, we arrest you. So at this point in time, like every other guy that was a Marine at my table, like my gunnery sergeant, my staff sergeant, you know, that I was out with, along with 2 corporals and a fucking lieutenant. Now they're like, oh shit, what the fuck did Ski get in trouble for? Like, what the fuck was he doing? I mean, he's of age. He's not, doing stupid shit. He's, it's not like when I was at the bar in Korea and I was playing quarters with the bartender and I lost, so I was standing there naked drinking fucking soju. And my corporal's right next to me, just like this, like, oh my fucking god. The MPs walk in, they're like, why the fuck are you naked? I'm like, I'm drunk, bitch. And the Korean chick is like, he begged. We're just like, yeah. They're like, put your clothes on. And suffice to say, I don't wear underwear, but apparently I ended up walking back to base wearing women's underwear. I'm assuming it was the bartenders. I guess. I mean, I don't know. So anyways, so I got off on a tangent on that one. So I get out. I'm kicked out of the casino. And so all the other Marines come like, oh, what the fuck? They said, oh, they said if I come back, they'll have me arrested. And so they're asking, like, well, what's going on? And I'm sitting there with my lieutenant. Now, my lieutenant, he was a brand new lieutenant. So he had just gotten out of OCS. He just got out. A lot of the college was still fresh in his mind. And he waited till every single other person was gone. And then he said, you were counting cards, weren't you? And I was just sitting there with a beer, just, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Lieutenant. I don't know how to count cards. I was like, so they're drinking a beer, like, I don't know. He's like, what system were you using? That's the first thing he asked. He didn't ask, like, what are you, fucking stupid? You know these guys are Yakuza and they can fucking chop your fingers off and send them to your family or some shit. He's like, what system did you use? And I was like, oh, I use a high-low system. And he's like, you counted the 6 card, I always keep saying card. He's like, you counted the 6-deck shoe with a high-low system? I go, yeah, it's just a simple number line. You just have to wait until the numbers add up to a certain point before you really start just, raking in cash. And so I went over it, and then the lieutenant brought a couple of other Marines over that wanted to go gamble, and he's like, okay, he's like, he actually brought a couple of officers, which was fucking hilarious, because now I'm teaching, I have a captain, 2 captains, a second lieutenant, which was my lieutenant, and then a first lieutenant, No, Lieutenant JG, because he was Navy, in the room, and I'm teaching them how to count fucking cards. With 1 deck of playing cards, I'm teaching them how to count a 6-deck shoe. Here you go. And they just were like, what the fuck? They were like, literally, what the fuck? And I was kicked. I got kicked out. I was kicked out of a casino, and that was fucking hilarious. But it's not illegal. No matter what anybody says, if you count cards in your head, it's not illegal. I do not recommend it. What I'll do is I'll say this. If you're going to compete against a casino, I would not count cards. Because casinos can harass you. They can force you to change tables. They can change out the shoe every once in a while. And when they change out the shoe, all you do is just zero everything out and start over again. So it's not a real annoyance. It takes more time to build up to like that critical number where you can just start bet, and just rake in cash. Just boom, boom, boom. You bet 100, win 1,000. Just bam, bam, like that. And they can kick you out of the casino, obviously. If you're suspected of counting cards, they can kick you out and then, have you shot because they're mobsters. Not anymore. Used to do that shit. Not anymore. But that's just, what they can do, It's one of the things, I think, one of the things that is really fucking annoying, I've seen documentaries on this because it's an interesting thing, is casinos will actually show up, or not show up. Casinos will pay for security guards to go and just talk to you for no reason. Just talk about anything, the weather. How's the weather? I don't know, I'm not outside, jackass. I'm inside playing fucking blackjack so I can pay your fucking salary. Leave me alone. They do that to break your concentration, because you have to do math. And even though you're only adding 1 or subtracting 1, you have to do it multiple fucking times. Now, there are obviously other systems that are in there. There's other card games you can use, different systems for. But high-low is relatively the easiest fucking system. Once again, if it's this number to that number, you will subtract. If it's this number or that number, you will add. If it's 7, 8, 9, you don't do shit. Because those cards are the child molesters of the fucking blackjack deck, apparently. Like how Jeff Side says white potatoes are the child molesters of the food pyramid to get shredded. I eat fucking white potatoes, man. I eat fucking Top Ramen. I got a fucking burrito that's like 780 fucking calories. I'm about to go eat that shit. Okay. I also deadlift 405 for 3 reps, and I can just do a pose like that, and boom, and I can see my obliques like that. And I don't take any fucking steroids. I'm natural. But that's my little story of why I love math, how it's gotten me in trouble, even as a kid, which is also kind of how our education system in America tends to basically crush people who could be very, very, very good intellectuals in society if the education system just let them do their own shit. Like me, just give me the fucking book, I'll read it, I'll learn it, and I'll take a test and I'll pass it. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. I did it with binomials, trinomials, and polynomials. I did it with digital logic. Digital logic is fucking funny as hell. You got AND gates, OR gates, NOR gates, NAND gates, all this shit. It's like a computer system, basically. I taught myself how to do that, and I could write the fucking diagram out of here's an AND, here's an OR, NOR, here's a switch here, the master slave here, and here's this, and I could write that shit out just like that and show you how it worked. And I did that by teaching myself. I got a book and I fucking read it. You bring me to a class, one, you're wasting the teacher's time and you're wasting my time because I'm not going to learn it as fast. Like with the binomials or polynomials or trinomials, all I did was I got a big ass whiteboard and a marker and a book and I'd go over every equation. That was it. Now I've turned my intellect on just gaining muscle and getting incredibly, insanely strong. It's just a simple problem, and I'm solving it utilizing a mathematical principle for how many sets I do, rep range I'm going to go to, and this can be even looked at as a bro science way to do it. But once I get done with my basic 1 year, then we get into the really crazy shit. Now we get into like percentage-based training, Prilpin's table, percentages of your 1 rep maxes, and you look at a graph, you could say, okay, volume and intensity, and then as you take it, you look at it as a graph, your volume can go up, but your intensity has to drop, or your intensity can go up, but your volume has to drop. Once again, that can be a simple graph that you put up there. There you go, math class. Math class, building better deadlifts. Oh, and this right here, this morning, as I was laying in bed, I'm laying in bed, okay, so I'm sleeping, you know, dreaming of those lovely transgendered girls, and, like, right a little bit above my bed, like, here's my bed, here's a closet right here, and it's an open closet, there's no fucking doors. I don't like doors, you know, and there's a shelf, I have a cat on the shelf. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, he's over there, okay. And I'm sound asleep. Something scares the fuck out of that cat, and he just jumps down onto my face. Right here, and just slices, like literally, like if you look, it is literally that fucking close to my fucking eye. Like literally, like my wife was like, oh my god, like she was flipping out for a second until she saw that it wasn't my fucking eyeball that had got it. And, that I had almost gone fucking blind. Which would really have pissed me off because yesterday I just did my 405 deadlift for 3 reps. And it pissed me off because if you've ever had to put like an eye patch on or something, you've ever had like one ear stuffed up or had like an eye patch on, it messes with your fucking balance to some degree. It really does. And fucked up balance and lifting heavy shit doesn't really work out that well. Test my theory, go home, get drunk, and then try to pick up your car. It's not going to work out that well. So anyways, I would like to say I'm going to end this video before I start to ramble, but I kind of already had. Anyways, math class. For those of you who are still students in either high school or college, math. Do it. Because then you can be just like me and get kicked out of a fucking casino. And have a really fucking funny story to tell people when you're older. Like, would I do it now? No. I'm not going to go to a casino and fucking do that shit. Would I do it casually among friends? Fuck yeah, man. I would. I would do that shit casually among friends. Why? Fuck it, man. Why not? When I was younger, we used to play penny blackjack. Like me and my grandfather on my father's side, who's passed away. We play blackjack with pennies, so we would just bet pennies. In a game like that, fuck yeah, I'll do it, man. It's not like I'm gonna, you know, take shit out. I mean, it wasn't like when I was in the Marines and I would like pool shark people, you know. And so I had to lose the first couple games. Like, okay, I'll bet you $300 I'll win this game, and I dominated that guy. I'm just really good at shit like that for some reason. I haven't played pool in years though. Just haven't had a chance to go play pool. So, you know, I'd win. Oh, you owe me $400. Well, I don't got $400. And this, of course, the guy knows I'm a fucking Marine. It's post 9/11. I'm wearing my dress blues. You know, I got my overseas deployment ribbon. You know, with second award and shit, you know, so, you know, yeah, I got some fucking shit on my chest. So I'm like, okay. And so I could tell the guy's nervous. I'm like, okay. Well, your girlfriend seems like she's worth that much. Did that story really happen? We don't know. Well, I know, but you don't. So have a nice night.